Is Luka Doncic a bum?
Well, no, if bum is the word, Drench, it's just I think that the Lakers are showing there's because what happens is Drench and Ox and Ron obviously playing and Mars being perceptive of watching the game as much as you have. I think when you have comments that are made like that publicly, Drench, about like you're not trusting the pass and you're like kind of overcompensating and you're not passing the ball and you're kind of dominating the ball too much, that typically means behind the scenes there have already been like numerous conversations about this.
Of course, but Swiper, so you remember when I came up here and I said that? Remember when I came up here and I said that about Luka passing the ball and he don't do this, he averaged that, bro. I'm telling you, I've been right more than I've been wrong. It's just y'all don't nobody say nothing. But
there's still no scripted playmaking. I don't care what you say.
That shit is scripted. For motherfucker been wide open for 5 minutes.
Still no. That shit's still no scripted. That man he definitely wants to score more than he wants to pass. I've always
100%.
He don't. But I'm still not buying the scripted stuff.
He only pass it when he don't have a shot. That's the only time he pass it. And it's like that's why I was getting on chill when y'all was talking about DeAndre Ayton. And it's so crazy that motherfuckers been mad about DeAndre Ayton. But when I brought it up, I was a Lakers hater. Oh yeah, Ayton get busy in the mid range.
Bro, chill. Yeah, bro. Ayton, they could have used him yesterday too. Ayton was getting just.
Yeah, but I'd be mad too. I told y'all, Luka does not pass the ball to you in a short roll. Like he's not getting that. So if I'm Ayton, a lot of Ayton problems. And I'm not even going to make an excuse for him, to be real. He been playing ass sometimes. Cool. But you on a team with a dude who's shooting 13 threes and making 3 of them and shooting 33% from the three-point line all year long, and he just hijacking threes. Like, that shit get annoying as a motherfucker as a teammate. Like, for me to just watch you do this bullshit, and then it's like, bro, all right, bro, you pass to me when you feel like it. Fuck you. That's how Ayton probably feel. That's how I would feel. We all done played basketball before. Like it's cool when you make it. Can't nobody say nothing when you make it.
And by the way, and Drench, and I want to say this too, because it's not just and this is why I think, I'm not with you, Drench, on the scripted stuff, but I am with you on this. And Ox, you were hoping going into the year after Eurobasket, you were like, you started turning into Luka FC because, oh man, he's been settling down, playing defense, boo, boo, boo. Mars, I'm this is a genuine question / point. He, on every possession, is responsible for the first defensive breakdown that the Lakers have on every single defensive possession unless they double Mars. Is that too strong? Because when they attack him,
every single is probably hyperbolic, but I do understand the point.
Like the large majority of their defensive breakdowns start on the perimeter with Luka. And then the defense
because they know he's not going to stay in front of anyone. So
it's the fact that Luka knows it and doesn't do anything about it though. Because yesterday, who was it that made Chris Dunn? Was it the Chris Dunn 3? The Chris Dunn when he scored towards the end of the game, Luka was on Chris. Luka got held up because they tried to do a switch, but you know what happens, y'all? When they try to force a switch, the team want to give it up. They don't want to double. What they'll do is the offensive player will come set a double screen with his man in front, and then with Luka on the other side, and basically pin both players against each other. That way, if you're not going to switch, then he's going to have a free, easy run down the court, or Luka has to run underneath and then recover. Luka just gave up on a play, like outright gave up on a play on one of those screens for a score, and it's just kind of like the team is having to overcompensate for you so much. But then on the other end, Mars, he's also not, unless it's a pick and roll, corner skip. He's also not sharing the ball and dominating the possessions. So it definitely feels like, bro, like, I don't know if he has enough, truly, bro, I don't know if he has enough self-reflection to kind of see like why what he's doing is in tandem hurting his team as often as it is. Because I just think like this has happened more than I think people want to admit this year. And I think LeBron yesterday, the reason why I said LeBron was the best player down in the second half, especially, LeBron turned the engine up, y'all. Like
he did.
He defended, he rebounded, he ran, he was aggressive, he got to the rim, he hit shots. He just is 41, Ox. Like he can't do it all game consistently.
Yeah, and at that time, at the same time with Luka and LeBron, like to me, it just seems like Luka gets it in his head that maybe his teammates aren't good enough, or maybe he get this style of play that he wants to play. And I think that's where he go wrong at. Like, it's like, bro, yeah, you are amazing. Yeah, you are a good player. But the style you want to play, you can't fucking win like that because you also don't play defense. It would be one thing if he was like giving maximum effort on if he was giving like maximum effort on the defensive end, that would be one thing. But like, bro, you give little to no effort, and then you play a badass brand of basketball, like a very bad brand of basketball. Like, what are your teammates supposed to do with you playing like that? Like, are we supposed to just clap and like, yay, Luka, or like that's the part I just don't understand. And it's like, when are we going to stop this bullshit ass excuses about his team? Like, we've seen players with similar teams have better success. Why can't Luka?
This year, the Lakers, when he plays 1,172 minutes, they have a 121 offensive rating, which is really good. They got a 118.8 defensive rating. They're only a +2 in those minutes, Mars, on the season. And don't you think for a top 5 player, like, is that not concerning at all? That like, even beyond the roster construction, that the effectiveness is not necessarily there to the level that you would hope and or expect for Luka.
For me, I think it just depends on how good you think the Lakers are. I don't think they're that good, so I don't expect them to be like Jokic this year, but like plus 12, 13 probably.
Well, do you think he's better than? Do you think the Lakers are better than the Bucks, for instance?
Yeah.
Well, this year, I mean, but the Bucks though are, I mean, even with Giannis, with that dysfunctional situation, they're a +5.5 with Giannis, but they're also it's a plus 16 like swing, with Giannis. Like, so I mean, I get it. It's just with
that's why they're better than the Bucks, because the Bucks without Giannis are a dumpster fire.
But the Luka this year is +5 swing though. You know what I mean? I'm saying the seminal impact on the court is
they're there. Just mid regardless to me. Like with me, the Lakers are just mid regardless. Okay. But I think Luka has flaws, and I agree with everything. Like, I think some of it's a bit.
It's agreeing to how much you attribute blame.
Yeah, but I do think there are still there's bigger problems than Luka. I think his habits and tendencies aren't great, and I've thought that going all the way back to Dallas. But I still think he's good enough to where he can shoulder an offensive burden. This just isn't a roster that's conducive to who Luka is.
Yeah.
And I agree. If we want to discuss Luka's flaws and tendencies as a player, that's a valid conversation to have. But if we know that, the Lakers know that. And then therefore not building a roster conducive to his strengths and weaknesses, I think is just bad roster construction. Like, what's more realistic? A world in which Luka completely changes his play style from what he's been doing for 7 years and becomes a high-level defender, or a world in which you build a roster around the flaws.
I think where I'm asking. That's why I'm asking you is, I'm not trying to make it like, everything's Luka's fault. It's not. But Mars, there is something too. I'm not even asking you to be a high-level defender. I'm really not. But I'm asking you not to sell possessions, like a lot of them down the stretch of the game, or just quit. Or if you do get beat, you look around and try to find like who's to blame. Like yesterday, like they got scored on and Luka was looking at the bench, and it was directly off of Luka. So I'm not asking you to be Kawhi, but like there's also some accountability things, Mars, that I think is legitimately not hitting home with him. And I think on the other end, if his jump shot isn't going down, it's like the effectiveness also goes away. And maybe that's just traditionally being a guard. Maybe you think
Swiper.
Like guard.
Why do that nigga need to shoot 13 threes? Why do he need to shoot all them threes though?
I think it was hard for him to get by their defensive scheme yesterday, and I think he settles. He trusts a jumper.
I think he thinks he can make them.
Yeah, Luka in the summer probably makes all those shots, and I think he's so used to making threes.
If I'm a Buck, but this is the problem too, though. This is the problem. Why do coaches not got to coach and say, brother, at any level of basketball, Luka ain't never been like a terrific 3-point shooter. But any level of basketball, a coach is gonna say, quit fucking shooting all them damn threes. But because it's Luka Doncic, I gotta hold my tongue and just allow him to hijack my fucking offense because he Luka. Man, get out of here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out.
I mean, he's the best player in the team, though.
Like, Luka, he's the best player in the team. I still think he's the best scorer in the league. Like, Luka got to get a shot to him.
That's tough, bro.
He has to get a shot to him.
He's so dependent.
That's too many
jumper,
for you to
though.
not be making them. He's not making them.
Jordan, my only adjustment that I would say is I do agree that he probably shouldn't be shooting all those threes. Luka is so good around the hoop. LeBron too, but we're talking about Luka right now. Luka should be on that block. Luka, dude, you're 6'8", built like a whatever he's built like a refrigerator. Bro, you got a big body and you know how to move and you know how to like you got good footwork, you got good touch. Luka should be catching the ball on the block like a center every possession. And on top of that, he could pass the shit out the ball. A double is coming. Yeah. A double's coming. If Luka catches the ball right there, a double's coming automatically. So now he gets to play out of an advantage as well. Like it just doesn't make. I don't.
Who's he kick? Wait. Well, hold on, because
he has the option shots.
But hold on, though, because you know I don't subscribe to that thinking that he's out there by himself. I think when you got professional basketball players, I think you can figure out a way to work with your team. Like somebody in the chat said, if you had 26-year-old LeBron James on this team instead of 26-year-old Luka Doncic, it'd be a different story. You know what I'm saying? But we don't. We got 26-year-old Luka Doncic. So I'm just curious though. Like, what without Austin Reeves out there, who exactly am I looking to kick to out of this double team that's going to be advantageous for us to win?
Rui and I got 3. I mean, LeBron, you're not doubling off LeBron either. You said they're going to double off Rui?
They just don't double off Rui. Double off Marcus Smart, Gabe Vincent, Vanderbilt, whatever bad offensive player they have out on the court at that time. Because the Lakers don't have that many good offensive players. But I agree with getting Luka in the post some more. I think that would be cool. They've tried that with LeBron, having LeBron in the post some more. I think it leads to some good results, especially when they execute. So I'm not against that. But at the end of the day, Luka's a high pick and roll player. That's what he is. That's what he's made his bread and butter off. Is just spread pick and roll. If you double, I'm gonna either hit my roller for a lob, I'm hit the corner skip, whatever the case may be. If you switch one-on-one, I'm gonna go ISO. If you decide that you want to go under, I'm gonna shoot. If you decide to chase over, I've got you on my hip, I'm getting into the mid-range. Like he's mastered his pick and roll stuff. So he's gonna run pick and roll. That's what he is. I just think teams have got better at defending the pick and roll, which is why I think his effectiveness isn't as high as it used to be.
I'm
not saying don't run pick and roll. I'm just saying you could touch the ball in the post 4 or 5 times.
You can move the ball around and move his ass around too, though. You don't just have to allow him to stand at the top of the key. You know what? And I didn't mean to cut you off because I was going to say this, and I was listening to the show yesterday. I think that was yesterday where Mars was talking about the whole MJ thing in LeBron, and I kind of want to correlate this to Luka.
2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago, and I want to correlate this to Luka. I think the difference between Bron and MJ at a time is that Bron likes to and this is why I think he only won 4 championships, right?
Yeah.
Only one.
Yeah, that's why he only won 4.
We're talking GOAT talk right now.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, obviously I'm talking compared to MJ, but he got 4. The reason why I think Bron just won 4 is because he tries to overcompensate for his teammates' weaknesses. So it's very hard for guys to actually develop themselves on a team with a guy like LeBron James. Like they want guys to be ready so they can fit in and plug and play. Because for the simple fact that Bron's going to handle the ball.
LeBron in your estimation?
I mean, I don't think nobody really developed into a player. I think he just had plug and play players. But I say that because Bron sits at the top of the key. He handles the ball, right? He's the primary ball handler. He's the primary distributor. He's the primary scorer. Like he's the primary everything for the most part. And I feel like with Mike allowed, like he was the primary scorer on his team, but he allowed guys to be in the position to where like for example, Steve Kerr can play point guard. Yes, the point guard has changed a little bit. Steve Kerr can play point guard. Paxson can play. Pippen can do what he can do. Like Mike sat and was like, okay, it's my turn. Now I go and score. Bron damn near has to make every play.
That wasn't how it started though. Remember, LeBron always did that early, and then he had to become more aggressive over time because they told him to be. His teammates told him to be, and then Michael had to learn how to get the ball up.
But that's my point. That's what I'm saying. I think that version of basketball is easier to guard. Even though they have extraordinary talents, like LeBron's extraordinary talent, so of course you're gonna have a breakthrough. But I feel like to win consecutive, like to win an amount of championships, obviously 6 and 10, like the other guys, you got to have a system. Like I don't think Bron has ever played like a systematic style of basketball. I think he's always overcompensated for what his teammates' weaknesses are, And I think now it's the same thing with Luka. I think he's doing the exact same thing because he's an extraordinary talent. So maybe if a guy can't shoot in the corner, well, Luka is going to dribble a little bit more. He's going to try to force the issue a little bit more rather than they figuring out how this can work with the guys' weaknesses on the team. And that's why I feel like the Lakers are struggling and Luka, I don't want to say struggling, but I feel like the Lakers is having an issue and Luka is having an issue because it's always him overcompensating for teammates' weaknesses. And honestly, I'm really tired of that excuse because it's really bullshit ass coaching. That's really what it is. It's just badass coaching. And they just allow it. Like, because maybe it's entertaining, but it's just badass coaching. That's all.
I think it's gonna look different. It's gonna change when Austin gets back on the floor, though. I'm pretty sure about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I hear what y'all saying, and yeah, you're right, Swiper. I was heading that way. I was kind of scared, like, oh shit, am I sounding like a Laker fan? You know what I'm saying? Like Luka had me on the ropes. I was really supporting Luka, and now he's kind of going back. He's regressing back to the old him, the sluggish on defense, ball hogging, grenade launcher. And it's a fact, Mars. It's what it is. And I hope when Austin comes back that we could get some more of that, a little more ball movement. A little just.
I don't think so.
I think things are a little different when Austin's on the court.
The Lakers are bottom 5 in passes per game as a team.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think
I don't think that's indicative of like necessarily bad offense. Like, but I don't think expecting this to really like be majorly different is really gonna happen. Now, there's been a couple games where like Luka decides to like just start. Well, not Luka decides. They start running stuff for like Luka to come off pin downs and screens and like say, oh look, Luka off ball, and then they revert back to whatever they do. So it's like I just don't think consistently you're gonna get the version of basketball you want. Speaking for you guys, I don't know what the Lakers want from Luka, but it's just like I'm on the side of if you know who someone is, signing them and expecting them to be different, like that's kind of a you problem at that point. Like DeAndre Ayton, like I'm not listening to people complain about DeAndre Ayton's motor or effort. Anyone could have told you what he was.
Why can't you complain about it if it's still an issue though?
You can complain. I said don't act surprised. I don't want to hit like, man.
You think JJ?
Yeah, I could have told you he wasn't going to do that. Like DeAndre,
but JJ knew that. They knew that going in, but I do think, to be fair to coaching though, I can know your history, but brother, I mean, we need a center, and you're our $8 million center. We need you to get out there and like we talked about this in film and practice too. Like we've had discussions about this, and you're still not doing it. I think there is an onus. Like I'm trying to coach you to do that, but you have to do it. And Ayton, it literally will just check out mentally, like.
As every person who's watched DeAndre Ayton for the last 4 years will tell you, he will do. So it's like, why did you think you were different? You thought you were different? I wish Joe was here. He'll make a perfect chicken analogy right now. But like, there's no reason for anyone to be surprised about DeAndre Ayton. Like, he's just not, he is what he's been for the last few years. And then people are like, man, DeAndre Ayton, he's been a letdown. Only for people who had expectations. Like, you shouldn't have had expectations. I also just don't think they fit together. To Jordan's point, I agreed with him when he said it in the preseason, whenever he said it. Luka's not looking to find someone in the pocket to play 4-on-3 or whatever to find floaters. He wants to throw lobs to his bigs. Jackson Hayes fits better with Luka than DeAndre Ayton does. There's a reason Gafford and Lively fit perfectly with Luka. They're going to set hard screens. They're not going to set screens thinking about themselves. They're going to set screens and roll hard. DeAndre Ayton's going to set a weak screen and then flow to the free throw line and hope for a pocket pass. Like they're different types of bigs, and Luka's not gonna. It's not gonna be synergized with a big like DeAndre Ayton, even if he is more talented, which he is. He's more talented than all of those bigs I just named, for sure. But that's not not what fits with Luka. That's not what fits. Right. So you just wasted an investment, and not to mention all of like the motor issues, the contact averseness, all of that stuff is still there with DeAndre, and he's not that good defensively. It's like, I guess, cool. And then the rest of the roster is like outside of Bron, Reeves, and Luka, which is a great top 3, the roster's just not that good. And Bron, Reeves, and Luka, when they're on the court together, because none of them can guard a soul, they're not that good. So I think the Lakers.
They could have won with yesterday, in particular, with more defensive engagement from Luka.
I think they could have
And
won.
I'm saying it got
Jared
very
Vanderbilt.
close.
Jared Vanderbilt gave a huge spark yesterday. He was huge for them last night. I think they could have won the game yesterday.
I mean, Marcus
just a
Smart,
few
Vando,
more
and
stops.
I would say Marcus, LeBron, Vando, and Rui were defending down the stretch of that fourth quarter. They had multiple turnovers and stops. They just on the other end, obviously, like I mean, to be fair, they got it back within.
Rui had a few blunders, but
but they got it to within 2.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the host go ham. You ain't never seen hoops all hit the raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.